Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a very peculiar subject to go and cover. Now, right now, we're kind of seeing a lot more virality when it comes to the potential Donald Trump re-election, when it comes to him becoming a president. And something to kind of go note over there is that one of his big pushes is to add tariffs to outside other regions to basically try to foster a stronger American economy. Now, when it comes to this one, we're now seeing articles going viral talking about the fact that things like the PS5 Pro or even PlayStations may actually go and increase upwards to even $250 when it comes to, well, everything out there. So what I kind of want to go do is give my thoughts on this, because I don't necessarily think that's going to be 100% true, and as well kind of give you guys my general thoughts and comments on the tariffs, on PlayStation, the overall economy, things being rotated into the overall ecosystem, and mainly the PlayStation 5 Pro, and if it will or will not get more expensive. So if you guys will keep an open mind on this one too, political stuff, especially around now, has always been a little bit on the wonky side, but I'm going to kind of give an actual more middle ground opinion, because I do, and I've also did see a few people on Twitter kind of go and break in this a little bit more. And I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts and comments down below. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the PS5 Pro giveaway too. Subscribe here, second YouTube channel, the Twitter accounts, and the Twitch down below. If you guys want to go pick up a PS5 Pro before it apparently hits $900, make sure you guys use all the affiliate links down below. And thank you guys all so much for that. And let's go and dive on into the video itself. So as I mentioned, right now, politics is sketchy. So make sure you guys are all very respectful in the comments. I'm sure you guys are. If you guys probably want to know my quick political, opinions on it, I'm very right smack dab on the middle. When it comes to, and this is kind of maybe a weird video to go make, it's not really what I need to go have, but I'm like, there's certain things I like, there's certain things I dislike on both ends. It's a very easy fence-sitting opinion for me as a YouTuber, but I don't really think it's my idea to go and talk about politics. It's just whatever you want to vote for and whatever you do, at the end of the day, that's what you should go and do. I think if I say anything or try to sway you in any other capacity, that is not a good vibe, at least how I kind of assume this. So I'm going to kind of break this down. Because right now, as I mentioned, people are kind of calling out Trump, saying the PS5 Pro will become stupendously more expensive if Donald Trump becomes president. The CTA warning is a wake-up call for gamers. Now, first and foremost, I want to kind of dive into this a little bit, because this is going to be a hard video for me to make on my, political and understandable on the macroeconomics, where I do want to go and say, this seems clickbait in the bad direction. I might have a similar title myself because I'm kind of reacting towards the video, or more so this, but they're kind of saying, we'll get to it throughout the video, that these tariffs are going to be basically horrendous. Now, tariffs do and sometimes can go change up prices, but you also have to factor in the fact that some people are not going to buy a $900 console. Price points are going to have issues, and maybe more so the bigger businesses might be affected per se, but usually the consumer is not too affected. I also want to kind of say this too, it almost kind of seem a little bit more on the anti-Trump side. Now, I don't want to ever try to go and sway you guys in my own political fiction, but keep everything in mind. I'm going to try to break this down. I had to do a lot of disclaimers because politicals, but whatever. So saying, as the U.S. elections approach, Trump's proposed tariffs threaten to skyrocket PS5 Pro prices, making gaming less accessible. So once again, if you guys want to use the links down below and get your PS5 Pro before this goes on, feel free to. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as this article is trying to go make it. And sometimes I see this even when it comes to console news, which is really weird. So I guess we more so would have to go and see. But here's their high-level summary. Former President Trump's plan to impose steep tariffs on imports, particularly from China, could lead to significant price increases for gaming consoles. So I do want to go and say, let me not 100% say no to this. Because there is there's a chance that they will change prices in terms of overall imports. But typically, that's usually better, I'd say, for the American economy. Kind of leads towards more money, and it also kind of fosters more of a homegrown built out for our input in systems. But if you think about how we get a lot of chips, a lot of production from China or TSMC and all that, there can be a little bit of a change up, not to be completely no. But they're also trying to go and say for some of this throughout the article, it could go up to $300 or so. The Consumer Technology Association warns that these tariffs are unlikely to create new jobs in the United States and will instead only raise cost. With the PS5 Pro already seen as overpriced at $700, the proposed tariffs could further alienate gamers. Now, this is just so much going on here, and I hate politics talk, but people have been talking about this as well, so I feel like I need to break into it. As the political landscape heats up ahead of the upcoming U.S. elections, the PS5 Pro wanters might want to pay attention to more than just the latest game releases or the Pro enhanced titles. With the potential return of the former President Donald Trump to the White House with his proposal to impose tariffs on imports, implications for the price of beloved gaming consoles are looking dire. According to the recent analysis from the Consumer Technology Association on Trump's proposed tariffs on imports, it has the potential to send the prices of various hardware, including consoles, laptops, and even smartphones, to skyrocket at an alarming rate, making gaming less accessible for millions of players. And so let me go hear them out. So I want to say they're kind of making this somewhat more dramatic than it probably would be. We always have imports. We always have like taxes on things that are being made. And in theory, I actually do not mind being more of an American grown economy. Now, there's my own bias on it because, well, I live in America. I want to have American jobs. Like I get paid more money than people being outsourced, etc. Like I'm okay with that. Like look at things like Intel, which has become a kind of absolute flop, which is our American semiconductor facility, versus things like TSMC and other various like fab, like big mass produced things. Like it's a lot different. Like it sucks. Like we want to grow this in America, like just overall. So saying Trump has indicated that if he's elected, he will impose steep tariffs on imports, particularly from China. His proposal suggests a 60% tariff on nearly all Chinese goods and additional baseline tariffs on other imports. Even though this promotes more production inside the country, could also have various drastic effects, particularly on the retail prices of gaming consoles. The Consumer Technology Association estimates that under the proposed conditions, the price of a PS5 Pro could be seen an increase of nearly $250, essentially pricing it out of the reach for many gamers. The PS5 Pro is already considered overpriced by most, with an initial price tag of $700. These proposed tariffs actually come into play. Gamers could find themselves even facing a steeper price. So, like, this is kind of like what I've been trying to break into. This tariffs do affect the economy in terms of how much people send, how much money they can make, profit margins, etc. But at the same time, I do not think the PS5 Pro is going to be a $1,000 console. And as well, I don't think it's going to go make a massive jump. Now, there could. So let me add the merit to this. There could be price increases and decreases for specific things, especially things like phones, especially for things like consoles. There is a small chance they might go up $50, $100. But I think we could all collectively agree that is a hard thing to sell. If this thing was sold out at $950, which is insanity for me, I really don't think a lot of people will be buying it. So if anything, that means that Sony themselves would have to go take the cut to make sure the prices stay low. But as well, at the same time, there is no way in hell a console is going to go up $250. And this is where I'm kind of a little bit somewhat mad on this, because there could be an imposed implication on tariffs. I could be completely wrong. But some of the price increases from, say, like an iPhone from $900 to like $1,300, big companies like Apple, big companies like Sony would not stand for this. And of course, that completely destroy their entire, like, well, everything. It'd be horrible. No one would be buying phones, and we're already in a struggling economy as we speak. So I almost want to say this article has merit to the idea that tariffs may actually go and change the price points for consoles, and there might be an actually somewhat increased price as well over time. Sure, maybe, and like they've already done that before as well, although over time prices did go down. But as well, when it comes to this stuff, there is no way people are going to be spending $1,000 on a console. You can bet my sweet patootie that PlayStation would not allow that, and it just would ruin their business model. Like, people would not be buying stuff. They'd have to go almost pure digital, which would make things like Xbox actually extremely explode. Things like Game Pass would be phenomenal products, and more people would probably just go to PC at the end of the day. So they're saying right now that this console is going to go up another $250, which, like I said, I think they want to put on the clickbait. They're trying to find the most extremist, egregious amount to kind of maybe even at this point, maybe try to make Trump look bad. Now, I'm not trying to be political in this type too as well, but like just logically, in terms of how Sony as a company would be, they would not be able to go and like function. They would lose so much money on the daily. They wouldn't even make a PS5 Pro. Like they'd probably just give up and be like, whatever we made is what we got. We'll see you guys on later. Saying the CTH chief, though, to kind of give them some merit, because there is a chance. Like I do want to say that like $300, $250 for a console increase, that is unspeakable. That will probably not happen. Tariffs aside, people can find money in other ways. Sometimes tariffs can also be lowered down. And of course, you also have to have the actual proper approval when it comes to tariffs too as well in the global economy. But at the reverse side, don't forget that tariffs can affect it. Like, not to be a complete naysayer, tariffs can go and lead the price points for PS5s or phones or Xboxes too as well. Like, that's a possibility. They're saying CTA's chief, Gary Shapiro, even explained in the reports that he proposed tariffs are unlikely to create significantly new jobs in the United States, and said that they may lead to increased costs for consumers and a shrinking economy. For gamers, the cost of entering a high-quality gaming experience will actually increase even more. So this is a possibility. Like, I don't want to say it's not. I don't want to be a full-on naysayer on it, but I just think the overall numbers they're using was a little bit too high. Now, I could maybe see an extra $50, $100, maybe if they really had to, sure. But we don't necessarily even know what's going to happen because the tariffs themselves may be proposed, yeah, but they haven't been approved. On top of that. So people have been freaking out because the people are worried about, why is this console going to be so much more money? Should I buy a Pro tomorrow? If you guys want to and you guys are worried, like, I've got the links down below. It's totally fine. But I feel like this is going to be kind of an overblown situation because I keep on seeing people getting very worried about this in social media. Saying most gaming consoles, including the PS5, are assembled in China, which would make sense though in terms of import laws. But their components come from around the globe. So if tariffs push manufacturers to relocate production from China, it won't directly result in increased jobs in the United States, which is in theory a proper thing. Like if they go to different countries and kind of mitigate it out and have different fab facilities, they could still get things imported through here, and China will most likely have a higher import tariff tax due to the fact that they are a big competitor. We don't want their economy to be bolstering, and we want to have less of a reliance on China overall is like the big concept for it. I think as predicted by CTA, many companies would instead shift their operations to some other countries, which once again, why we probably want to see that many big price increases, although that might be a little bit of a weird overhead, or maybe stock being a little bit on the slower side to restock at, leaving American consumers to pay higher prices for consoles like the PS5 Pro without getting the benefits for domestic job creation. Scenario looks grim for American consumers in almost every way possible. Which once again, though, I do feel like this is a little bit of an overly kind of negative comment on it. I mean, I think we've gone through tariffs before. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to hear your thoughts, comment below, as long as you guys are respectful. But like, they're kind of basically saying the console price are going to go up a bunch throughout this, which in theory, they already can't even mentioning other workarounds that might make sense. Saying, and the CTA's warning should serve as a reminder for all gamers. The gaming industry, valued over $24 billion in the United States alone, will be facing severe disturbances if this proposed tariff is imposed. Once again, also proposed too as well. They could also adjust it too. With the increase in console prices, gamers might find themselves unable to afford the latest consoles and games. So it'll limit their access to all the new cutting-edge technology and experiences that they would have enjoyed previously. As economist Mark Perry's graph shows, free trade has played a vital role in making technology more affordable, which is also a valid point, though, not to completely naysay it on it. I just think the $250 price point number is kind of like shaking my head on it, but tariffs can affect this. Having extra steps may affect restocks, but although it seems like stock's mostly there, it's really hard to sell a console for $700 and then afterwards try to resell it for $1,000 a few months, if not like a year later. It would not really make a lot of sense. And they're saying too as well that things like televisions or electronics have not climbed with the inflation over the past 2 decades. However, the proposed increased tariffs threaten to reverse these gains significantly. In the end, this report is based on the proposed import tariffs if Trump wins. So as the election approaches, gamers should stay informed about how political decisions can impact their hobby. Do you think these proposed tariffs will be implemented if Trump wins? I kind of feel like this was a little bit on the rage bait side. Like, no offense to them. I do not think a $250 price increase is going to happen if Trump goes into office. Like, let's just be realistic here. Now, there may be some issues maybe for Sony or other various things, but at the end of the day, the consumers are the end product. If PlayStation needs to go keep the cost down, they will figure it out. And this is more so just a headache for the bigger corporations rather than us. Or maybe the PlayStation 6, but at that point, we might be getting towards the next election anyway. So who really cares at the end of the day? Now, I do want to say it is important, though, to watch the tariffs, see how this affects the global macroeconomics and how imports and basically electronics are, because we don't want to pay more money for a phone. But once again, this is also a proposed tariff. And typically, sometimes you want to have the first day of having a proposal. So then someone like China can be like, hey, and be able to use it as like a leverage for a bargaining chip too as well. So in my opinion, I think this was a bit clickbait. But it is a possibility, something to consider, that tariffs may raise price points for phones, laptops, and consoles. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to kind of go and see what happens. But I don't think this is like a big Trump issue. Like, this kind of seems more of like an anti-Trump article where they're basically saying, hey, you're going to have to pay a lot more money for your game, so make sure to vote for someone who wouldn't do that, which I'm not really a big fan of this bias when it comes to stuff. Although you guys may agree or disagree, I always try to stay more right down the middle, and I don't think consoles are going to be raising up in price, and I don't think this will be a bigger issue. But like I said, I saw a lot of this on Twitter, on Reddit. Hopefully I present this in a good way where I'm not going to end up getting canceled. Like I said, I'm very down the middle when it comes to politics, so I don't really care what you vote for, but I don't like seeing this type of stuff happen. But of course, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have a bad take on it, and maybe consoles could raise up $300. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments and everything down below. So make sure you guys are respectful, and I appreciate you guys all for watching. Subscribe for our PS5 Pro giveaway. Check out the affiliate links down below if you guys are worried about them going up in price if Trump wins, apparently. And thank you guys all so much for watching.